Hello everyone, my name is Stacy, President of GoldMind Consultants. I have with me today GoldMind Consultant team. They're going to tell you a little bit about themselves, but before they do, I just want to tell you the title of this discussion today is MasterMind Alliance, and that's basically what we formed. And we are a power team. This is Tracy. She's just going to tell you a little bit about herself.
Just a little bit. My name is Tracy. I was born and raised in Newark, New Jersey, and I'd love to empower women. Women who have gone through some things, women who have dealt with some things that have taken them places where they might not be too proud of, but I'm here to let them know that it's okay. You can do whatever you want.
Yes.
Hi guys, I'm Nima. I'm super excited about GoldMind. I just have a super big heart to help others and help them feel better about themselves and help people get a grab on their mind. That's all about me.
Awesome.
Hi everyone, my name is Christine, and I am a GoldMind consultant, and I also own my own interior design company where I help moms, first-time moms and mothers in general design their nurseries, children's rooms, and playrooms, and I also help people travel around the world.
So tell us, what is the name of the two companies? What's the name of the your company where you help moms?
Oh, well, my interior design company is called Amelia's Decorating Design, and the other company, just ask me down below and I'll direct message you.
All right. So awesome. So you hear a little bit about them. We actually spent a majority of this evening together, and we have covered so many topics. We wish we could have captured it all on video, but the last topic that we decided to share with each of you is mastermind. Forming a mastermind alliance with people who think just like we do. So, and we found through the topics, we'll say one thing and we'll grow. And we started doing the research together in such a short period of time, and we learned so much. Tracy here, you may have heard me talk about her, so now you get to see the face behind the name. I talked about her, me and her forming a mastermind alliance maybe about 11 years ago. And I call her my accountability partner. There are days that I really don't have a good day. There are days that I'm just not motivated. You know, you may hear a lot, or I'll share with you about my journey through school, my journey through work, my journey through setting up this company, and things of that nature. But it's not always easy. And sometimes when I'm facing my most challenging times, and I may be a little bit fearful about what's going to happen next, I call Tracy, my accountability partner, and she'll begin to encourage me. And she not only do it for me, but she does it for a lot of people. What has been your experiences with working with people who may be going through fear at a period? What causes you to kick in and be the kind of person that you are?
Well, I think it's basically something that's just within me. It's always been there, and it gives me such a joy when I can actually share something. I don't always know what I'm going to say, but it always comes out, and I guess that's just a part of who God has made me. So when it comes to just women who are going through, or anybody that's going through, it's like an instinct kicks in, and I just have to be able to help. Sometimes it's just saying hi. Sometimes it's just giving a smile, making a person laugh. But at all times, I always want to be able to lift somebody up. So that's what I do.
So has there ever been a point where you felt like there was somebody who you just didn't want to work with at all?
No, I mean, people get on your nerves and you're like, ah, but at the same time, it's the end result that I have in mind. Wow. It might not be the best situation. It may come from something that has really been bad. But I'm always looking at the end result in mind. Where can this go? How can this end positive?
And as part of it, you just don't make it about you. It's not your story.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. I remove myself from it. I don't take it personal, because many times, as we talk about being accountable, there are times she didn't like what I said, but at the same time, I don't take it personal. Because you're supposed to be that way. You're supposed to resist me, and guess what? I'm supposed to be resilient and say, it's okay, because what I said still stands, and it's going to work if you just do it. So the end result is what I always keep in mind. Never take it personal.
So Nima, you and Christine are one of the younger ones, very little bit younger than I am. But so with you, what are some of the challenges you face when you are seeking to encourage somebody, or even encourage yourself? What are some of the challenges you find?
sometimes the voice in my head gets a little loud, and it's good to have somebody to call and rely on and speak to help you pick yourself back up and actually get back on track, because we all have that voice in our head that sometimes you need to turn it down and listen to the voice of God instead. So you need that person that's going to call you and say, God tells you you're this, and God tells you you're that. And, you know?
So that voice, what do you think the voice is coming from? What do you think it starts from?
From every experience that I've had in life, like from every interaction that I've had with people, the things that people have said to me and that my perception has allowed me to take on.
Wow.
Some things aren't good, some things are, but when they aren't good, I have to call my sisters and ask for some help to lift me up. Like, this voice is just talking entirely too loud. I don't know what I'm going to do. Can you help me? And the MasterMind Alliance always pulled through.
Yeah. And the most interesting thing about that is that voice that gets louder. I always think about people label as being schizophrenic or bipolar, and we talked about this earlier. Many of us, we have those voices. We may not be so open with it, but if we're honest about it, those voices do continue. They tend to control or hinder us from going where we want to go and do what we want to do. We may go in that direction, but those voices kind of slow us down a little bit, right? So we have to take the time out, right? What does it do? It's
the speed bumps.
Okay, so that little obstacle, right? And we have to figure out how to go around it or understand it's just a bump, right? What do you think about that, Christine?
I agree.
Those voices.
I agree. Those voices can definitely keep us down. But if we don't have someone to keep us accountable and just do the things that we're supposed to, we actually end up staying there. And I'm thankful for you guys, because just in our conversations today, we were able to break through some things, because one, we're like-minded. We all have the same desire, and that's to help one another progress so that we can get somewhere in life. And when you don't have those people around you, you stay in your rut.
Yeah, that's true. I remember a time where I didn't have those people around me, and it was just a short period of time. But if you open up your eyes and you look around, sometimes they're really there. It's just sometimes we tend to gravitate to people who think like we think, and we can't understand why we can't get out of this terrible thing, our terrible way of thinking. It's because I can't remember who the speaker was, but he said that it may have been, because you and I listen to the same things, but he said that
we are the reflection of the 5 friends that we keep around us.
Wow, and that's very close to what I was thinking. It was that we don't get out of life what we say we want. We get out of life what we are,
right.
And we attract to us those people
who are like us.
Yes, right? And a lot of people call it the laws of attraction, and we attract to us those things. And a lot of times we say, well, I don't understand why this is happening and why I got to keep getting into arguments and fight, because we're going around and we're reacting. We're basically interacting with the same people. Do you find that to be true?
I do. I really do. And that's why I step out of my comfort zone, and instead of surrounding myself with sometimes people who are like me, sometimes I like to go to people who aren't like me.
Yes.
Because that takes me to a challenge now. Because I can be comfortable with people that are around me and just be, hey, okay. But then when I'm challenged with somebody who else is challenged, then now it takes me out of my uncomfortable, and takes me in an uncomfortable position, which challenges me to say, you know what, how can I help this person? How can I step outside of myself to help this person now? It may be a new challenge, something I've never dealt with, something I don't know anything about, but guess what? All I have to do is just open my mouth, and it happens. So we have to be able to step outside of ourselves, and even outside of our own comfortable circles, and extend the olive branch.
That's true. Now that's what GoldMind Consulting is about, being able to take all that we are, and we're not saying that we're perfect and we have it all together, because I stressed earlier that I do have fears. I do go through those periods where I may be doubtful. I don't stay there, but I have been able to just form that bond with people that can get me out of it. And that's why it shocked other people when I tell them, hey, I did feel like this and that, because they see me in my comfortable, in my confident state, but they don't see what I was going through prior to getting where I am. Do you agree?
I definitely agree. You never know what people have been through in their life until you actually sit down and speak with them. And it's important to always sit down and listen to people's story, because you never know what you're going to learn from that person. Allowing yourself to just be in every moment and be able to be present in every moment so you can learn or give whatever you're supposed to give in that situation.
And that was key what you just said, be present in the moment. That's important. Have to be present in the moment.
So I was just thinking about, now all of us have those days when we go out, we're so excited and we go out and then we run into that cashier who has a bad attitude. Now just when we thought we had it all together and we're all filled with God, and then we run into that person, they like, next. And you're like, okay, I can deal with this. I can deal with this. And they like, hold on. And then they start talking to somebody and you're like, really? So okay, I can deal with this. And they're like, I'll be right back. I gotta go get some change. You're like, really?
Well, you know,
but just when we think we got it all together.
You know what I do in that situation?
What do you do?
Well, hey, how was your day? I just overkill. How was your day? Well, you know, you look so nice. Oh, I like that. And I just begin to just take their mind off of whatever it is, and I make the focus on them and how I appreciate them. And then at the end of the day, it's like, well, thank you. And then they come out of it, and then now they're the person that they should be. Now, they might be the same way. That might not be the same way to the next person.
Right.
But when I'm there, I just try to just bring them out of that. And I just don't like to see them in that bondage. It's like, why are you upset? Well, let me just say something nice about you to bring that part out of you.
And then unexpectedly, you were that person's mastermind alliance.
Yes, you formed it with them.
Just that quick.
Yes.
It's so funny. Before, I grew up in Newark as well, right? And that happens very often, almost all the time. One thing that really has helped me is the book from Napoleon Hill, How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Oh, yes, that's the best.
Right? One thing is that you can compliment them, but one thing is to actually care about them, right? Sometimes those people, they don't have anyone to care for them or to think about them, and in their rut or in their downtime, no one really has reached out to them. So that's a great opportunity for people like us who want to influence people to take advantage of that opportunity, even though, you know, it's something against us. And where is it in the Bible where you can kind of catch more bees with honey? You know?
Well, I don't know about the bees with honey thing.
Well,
that might be an international.
No,
that might be the Newark International.
It's called love.
Oh, okay, there you go. I love it.
Here's the scripture. A kind word turns away wrath.
Oh,
that's
okay.
the scripture.
All right. Because I want to say you can catch more ants with sugar.
Because when you give them a good word, and something Nima said earlier was that you never know a person's story. And because you don't know their story, and like you said, you could be that person who was just being kind to them, and they're like, oh, somebody's being kind to me, and they gravitate to it. And you don't know what you're doing, but that's why it's so important to just do it. It doesn't matter that you don't know. And you may never see that seed that you planted germinate where it grows into something, but guess what? Somebody's going to come along and water it. So we got to plant the seed with the kindness that we have so that we can allow somebody to come along and water it.
So, anyway.
But you mentioned something about work.
Yeah.
Right. So what you were just saying, just be in the moment, right? Where are we just talking about being?
Yeah. Well, we were talking about that scripture in the Bible where in Genesis 2:15, where God sent Adam, he placed Adam in a garden and he told him to dress it. And we just learned, based on us studying collectively, that word dress and work means to be. So everything that we do, we should be present in the process.
And also, when you go, even when you get further into the part to be or to become. So dress means to work. Then when you look at the etymology of the word work, you find it means to be or become. So whatever you're going to work at, you got to become that thing.
Man.
You just can't say, well, I'm just going to do that. You've got to become it. You've got to be it, and you've got to be present in the moment. But when you make it a part of you, you have to research it. You got to put every bit of you into it. You have to become that thing. So it's not coming off as so unnatural where it's just like you're just going through the motions, but it's very genuine because you've invested yourself in it, and now you are the work. You have become the work.
Yes.
And then in turn, you keep the people around you that also are like-minded like you, and they keep you pushing and propelling. So your whole life is everything that God told you you are. Everything that's already inside of you. Your
It's
passions,
already in
your
you.
desires
Yes.
is what's supposed to make you.
Yes. Yes.
So living our purpose.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Everything is about it. Defining?
Defined purpose.
Oh, defined. Because
Amen.
you know me, I'll be like, defined purpose. I love definitions. I love doing research. And that's the basis of what we've been doing all day. So as you are forming these mastermind alliances, just be aware. You have to be aware of yourself first before you try to join and connect with anybody.
Yes.
Because you feel like you really have something to offer, you really have to look intuitively first. You have to connect with people intuitively, but you have to look within yourself introspectively and see what's going on. If I, like, prior to me getting married, it took 8 years for me to really get involved in anything because I needed to make sure that I had something to offer to somebody. Prior to that, I wasn't ready. I may have wanted to get involved with somebody, but to really join with somebody in a relationship, because that's what this is about. This is about relationship building. I have to know who I am before I say let me form an alliance. I don't want to bring my junk, but if I bring some of my stuff with me, I need to know who I'm connecting that with so that that person can pour into me. But if we both got a lot of junk, we're going to intermix. Yeah.
But you know what?
Just a
When we talk about even coming together, we each bring something different to the table.
Yes.
And because we each bring something different to the table, because I know me, and because I know where I lack, I see whatever strength you have, and then I come to you. See, a person who really wants to get some help and really wants to do something, they're not going to run to the person who's going to tell them what they want to hear.
Right.
Now, if you're not really ready to change or do anything, then you're going to run to the person to say what you want them to say. But when you really challenge yourself to go beyond that, you're going to go to people who are like-minded, but at the same time, different. That challenge you. Because, see, I might have a foot, but you might be a leg, and that leg will help my foot realize its purpose.
Right.
You know, you need me. Now, you know what you're supposed to do? You're supposed to walk. You know, so it takes each individual to be, to know you, and then also to connect with people who know themselves, because when you know your strength, then you know what? You can identify with my weakness, and then now you can pour that strength into me. It's a covenant.
Right.
It's a relationship. What's yours is mine, mine is yours. We got an alliance, girl.
And it's true, as we speak, each and every one of us have something different and unique to offer to the table. With Tracy, you challenge me, because as it relates to the word, the way you study, I have been intimidated. Like, you know what, I need to get in this word. Because when I present something, sometimes I present, we go back and forth. You be like, I don't know about that. I don't think that's why. I feel like, what? Trying to hold my ground, just trying to prove that I know it. But it doesn't make sense. How about I go back and make sure I know it, and then we can come back and we can have a conversation. So I had to grow in the area of saying this is not a competition. We're going to learn after. If you tell me that, you know what, Stacey, maybe you should look at that again. I'm not telling you what to do, but just revisit it and then come back. If you're strong about it, I'll take a look at it. We'll discuss it, and that's how we do it. And the same thing with you. I lean on you. I'll call, can you help me with this? It's certain areas that I feel like I'm not strong. And I'll reach out to her. I'll be like, you know, I'm trying to do this, and can you, because she has an eye. She has an eye for design, and can you help me? Because I'll buy anything. Or I'll put a brochure together, and she'll look like the font is all off, and you put this there, and you didn't even. And to me, it was the best brochure. And guess what? I'm content with that. I be like, look, I threw something together. I don't just throw it together. I put my heart in it. But my level is here. Now I take it to somebody who can take it 10 steps higher, and I'm okay with that. So I lean on her a whole lot for a lot. I mean, is that the truth?
That's true.
What do you do?
You're so silly.
It's the truth.
One thing that I went to a women's conference about a couple of months ago, and one of the things that the young lady said is, we as women, we all want some props or to be acknowledged, but we don't want to help the other person succeed. You know, we all here are GoldMind consultants, but we're here to help one another excel, right? And in order to do that, you kind of have to put your guard down just a bit so that you know where your weaknesses are, and to lift one another up. And like you said, you pour your heart into that brochure, but you know that someone else has the eye where you probably have the hands to do it. And I think it's a matter of just realizing that so that you can come together with other people and create an alliance like this.
And this is where the scripture comes in at, we are jointly compacted, fit together. That's what we do. We each supply a need. We each supply whatever is needed for whatever the situation, whatever the reason, whatever it is, we all supply a need to it. And we can all rely on each other.
And, you know, we're going to close it up in a minute, but I was thinking about, as it relates to GoldMind Consultants with the two of you, intuitively I formed a bond and a connection with you because of your heart for people. I know that you have a genuine love for people. And I know that you want to grow, but you don't want to grow for your own personal reasons so that you can maximize the benefits. Yeah. You guys genuinely want to do something to help people, and you're young and you're not vain. Neither one of you are vain. You are very beautiful, can be vain, but very humble, very passionate, very compassionate, and whatever I can do. And I tell you guys all the time, this company will grow. Sky's the limit, and I want to bring people who have a love for people, who can wear the number 2 pin on their jacket because they put everybody else as number 1. And I know that that's what you do.
And you know what? That shows a great leader. Because what people who want to help other people by putting themselves here, leaders build leaders. Leaders, true leaders. Now let's get that right. You got some leaders that just shouldn't be leaders. But true leaders will build people to be leaders. See, you don't just want to be number 1 and make everybody number 2. You be a number 2 and push them up to 1.
Yeah.
You know, and see, that's the success. That's what gets you going. That's what fuels you. Because at this point, we want it so bad for somebody else. You know, it's not about me getting it. It's about me accomplishing somebody else getting it. And once they get it, it's like, I'm accomplished. I feel it, you know, and that's the joy. So I see that in you guys. You always are lifting each other up. You lift me up. Yeah. You know, the things you say. And it doesn't matter that you're 2 years older than me. The fact is, I still learn from you. You know, but I'm sorry, no, 2 years younger than me. That's right.
Oh, okay.
But I still learn from you. So, but the fact is, you know what? Everybody has something. So when we push people up as leaders, we push them up to be leaders, and that's what you guys do. And I love it.
Yeah. The real leader knows that they know nothing on their own.
Oh,
and it's only to the accord of the people around them.
Yes.
In God.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And the definition of leader is influence. So you have influenced me in so many ways. You're a leader. You have influenced me. Each and every one of you have influenced me. And what leadership really is, even the ability for us to influence ourselves. Because you can't lead anybody unless you have the ability to influence your own self.
Can I tell you something?
Oh, absolutely.
The first time, let me tell you, the first time she told me about me being a leader, I was like, what are you talking about? Yeah. You know, most leaders don't realize they're leaders.
Yes.
I didn't realize until this very moment in this conversation. Until this very moment.
Yes.
But most leaders don't. It's just what they do. Yes. You know. And I still say, oh, well, okay. You know, I'm like, okay. But it's just so natural to automatically just build people. Just pour into them. Yeah. You know, and influence them in whatever way you can, in a positive way, of course. But like you said, that's what a leader. But I never knew. I never looked at myself as a leader. I just looked at myself as Tracy from Newark, and hey, how you doing? That's just who I am. So
you know why? It's because it's how the world has defined leadership.
That's it.
We look because he got an elected position, because he got promoted to management, because he's the parent, he or she is the parent, that they are leaders. But the leader is really the power to influence.
And you know what? This just came to me. A director is always behind the scenes, but that's the real leader because he's pushing everybody's potential to be the best that they can be.
So we would like to, So I know, right? So we have Missy behind the scenes right now.
She's our leader.
She's doing a phenomenal job right now. But we truly would like to thank each and every one of you for sharing this moment with us. We decided to come together because we felt like we want to just encourage you to form a union, form a bond, so that you can shut that voice down. And if you can't do it by yourself, find somebody who's going to encourage you. You know, get with people who are either where you want to be or a lot further, or just at least want to do what you want to do and have that same mastermind. Yes. Tracy?
I just encourage you to continue to seek within your purpose. Look within yourself. Know who you are. If you don't know who you are, then you don't know where you're going. You got to know who you are to know what your potential is. But do it. Just start right now. You don't have to have a master plan. Just start. Anyway.
Yes. Yes.
The key to finding yourself is sometimes just unbecoming everything that other people told you.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Do it.
I love it. I love it.
Just listen. Listen to yourself and see where you want to go. So if you have a vision, just make a roadmap to get there. And if you don't do that, you'll go anywhere somebody else takes you.
Yes, yes. So we would like to thank you from GoldMind Consultants and have a great evening. And if you like this, please leave us a message. You can critique us. We're into learning. We're into growing. So we're definitely going to grow from your feedback. And you can follow us on our Facebook page, GoldMindConsultants.com. We also have a website that's GoldMindConsultants.com. And again, on YouTube, GoldMindConsultants.com. Have a great and a blessed evening.
Bye. Be the best that you can be.
Bye.